It's Sound Art Radio, Magical Fun Time with Dr. Ergo, Phizmiz and Depresstival, and maybe it's not going to be the funniest show this week, but we're in a state of utter revulsion, as you should be. You should be in a state of utter revulsion now.
I don't understand how... Yeah.
The situation as we record this, this as we speak, it is Monday, the 21st of July. And by the time this broadcasts on Friday, maybe things will be different. I don't know. But today, as we speak, the international governments of the world have finally decided
this is the point that they're going to start being like, oh, that's a bit too much.
That maybe it's a little bit too much. Like David Lammy said a few weeks ago, he said, Israel is a bit of a sticky point for us. And they've announced that all the countries have united and said make an immediate end to the war. They call it a war. It isn't a war. A war requires two armies.
It's a campaign of starvation and murder.
Yeah. And people are... all of the governments of the world have come together today and said, now it's time to stop this nastiness after more than 500,000 people have been killed. Now, why, we ask, on Monday 21st of July, have the governments finally decided that maybe it's just over-egging the pudding a little bit?
Yeah, 23 countries, the UK and France, are now saying, oh, it's got to end now.
Yeah, and the UK the UK are continuing to provide arms while saying this.
Why is it taking this long to...
Well, the reason it's taking this long is it has just been announced today that we are living in unthinkable, unbelievable, just hell. It's been announced today, and you probably won't hear this on the news. We can't find it on the news. It's been announced today that 90% of the people, of the human beings, the fathers, mothers, daughters, brothers, aunties, uncles, normal people, weirdos, pragmatists, dreamers, the plethora of humanity, because we've been trained in this country, and I am astonished at how many people I have spoke to over the last couple of years who I previously thought were sensible people, who then refer to Muslims as one group, rather than a huge demographic of the planet, a huge percentage of the world's population. And this country, we are conditioned to see a Muslim and think terrorist. And now we're living in a country where even if you say it's not okay to kill people whose religion is Islam, now that makes you a terrorist. It makes us a terrorist. The other day, the British police arrested 2 old people around 80 years old, who had been out saying that it's not a good idea to systematically murder and starve 2 million people. And they were arrested, and their house was turned upside down and ransacked by the police, and their bags were confiscated and checked for radioactive materials. because you've got to be careful about these 80-year-old these pensioners. Some of them.
Pacifists are exactly the kind of people you want to be targeting. Apparently,
yeah. You are living in a country now, my friend. You are living in a country where a pacifist is labelled as a terrorist.
But I keep saying...
And this is opposite land. This is
saying
wrong.
this thing of, my opinions on mass murder have remained pretty much the same.
Throughout life.
So, I would say the same, obviously, since... I found out what mass murder was, and that used to be considered an okay position, and now it's not. Now the society's changed. Now apparently, if you think mass murder's bad, that means that you're. I mean, try and tell me how to make it make sense. I don't.
Yeah.
Up until
recently, I had only seen 2 images of dead babies, or in fact 3. One very weird one that I have to tell you about off the air. And now in 2025, over the last year and a half, I've seen hundreds. Only this morning, I believe I've seen around 50 starving, emaciated, dead babies. And that starving and that emaciation has been caused by, in huge part, the country, the government that we are living in and under. And the reason why on today, Monday 21st of July, the countries have finally said it's a bit much is because 90% of people in the Gaza Strip are now at stage 5 malnutrition, which means that even if they ate, it would kill them. So at this stage, Monday 21st of July 2025, it looks very much like over the next few days, by the time this piece broadcasts, that perhaps over 1 million people will have died of starvation. And anyway, by this point, because they are at stage 5 malnutrition, caused and aided by this Labour government and the Conservative government beforehand,
and all the other ones who aren't even in power, but they're normalising the entire thing of being completely inept and incompetent when trying to stop this kind of level disaster. No, this is. I just don't. What?
So by the time this broadcasts, more than 1 million people may have died, and that 1 million people, even if they have not died, by the time of this broadcast, these 1 million people cannot be saved. So, they've done it. They've done it. At the beginning of this, when that ugly guy, the Israeli leader who looks like he's been hit in the face with a shoe, I can't remember his name.
The bloke who's always got his mouth open.
They've all always got their mouths open. No, not Ben Gavir. One of the.
I've never seen him with his mouth shut.
He's the fat one, isn't he? The one, the sort of emaciated looking one. I don't know, but the day that it all started, and he said, "We are fighting human animals." It was obvious from that rhetoric. We have heard that rhetoric before. It's in a book called Mein Kampf.
Do you want to know something?
Not a very good book.
Do you want to know something interesting that I've just found out? Well, tell me. So there's is it the IPC who are declaring stage 5 famine? I think they actually declared that a while ago. But the interesting thing that I found is if I write into Google Gaza IPC famine stage 5, the only stories it will give me are from before the 12th of May. It won't give me anything updated to that. Like, you really, really have to search for it.
Yes. The level of censorship.
I mean, I don't even need to point out that that's deliberate, isn't it? It's
the level of censorship you are living under is insane, and you have to reject it. The mobile phone, the internet, is no longer a reliable news source.
It isn't.
Neither is the print media. Certainly neither is the BBC, which is basically now a government arm. You cannot trust any of this information, and you need to put the phone away. You need to stop looking at it. You need to stop reading it. You need to stop looking at the advertising. You need to stop telling them your proclivities, your personal proclivities. You tell them nothing about you. Be mysterious. Change your name online.
Them constant stuff to make money out.
To make money out of you.
Out of your
You
body.
are the commodity for these murderers. You are the commodity for murderers, my friend.
Don't
do
make
it.
money off of you. It's like we didn't always have this. It's just a phone.
Yes.
It's a website.
In the 1920s, Walter Benjamin, the brilliant cultural theorist and philosopher, he was making a lot of radio, a lot of very, very beautiful radio. My personal favourite piece of his very beautiful, I haven't heard it, but I've read it in a wonderful book called Radio Benjamin, is basically using the medium of text and, recorded spoken text to express this extraordinary visit to a Berlin toy shop. And he worked with, he produced radio plays with many people. Basically, Benjamin's idea of radio was that radio could be the theatre of the people, a democratized, international sonic object where the population could express, which is, actually, close-ish to the idea of community radio. And this was the way that Benjamin saw radio and its potential. Now, Walter Benjamin lived in Germany in the 1920s, and this thing happened in Germany in the 1920s where a sort of really ugly, aggressive, whiny, petulant man rose to power through democratic means. Became Chancellor in 1933 after he'd been staging right-wing riots, the Munich Putsch in 1928, and he rose to power in 1933 and was democratically elected Chancellor. You all know who I'm talking about. That's a horrible, terrible painter, Adolf Hitler. And the Nazis saw the radio, this new thing that could go into every home. Walter Benjamin, also in Germany, saw the radio as a tool for the people to express. The Nazis, headed by Goebbels, and I'll just add here that people talk about Goebbels and people say, oh yeah, he was the genius in the Nazi party. But I think calling Goebbels a genius is the same as calling ad men geniuses. And ad guys, they're not geniuses, they just make adverts.
Well, I mean, in order to be a fascist and to enact fascist policies and kill entire populations, that requires you to be a total idiot,
yes,
doesn't it? Because it's a ridiculously stupid thing to do.
Yeah. And so the Nazis discovered this wonderful new product that had been discovered called Bakelite. Manufactured, called Bakelite. lightweight, cheap to produce, etc., etc. And they made a Bakelite radio that could go in every home, cheap, affordable, possibly like free. I don't know, but anyway, every home in Nazi Germany got this wonderful Bakelite radio, and they were, as well as like tools to a thing to listen to, they were also objects of desire. People had the better Bakelite radio, and some people had the like cheap Bakelite radios, and you had a higher status the more swish your Bakelite radio was. And what the Nazis did, in contrast to Walter Benjamin, is they changed radio into the medium which it generally is used for today, which is as a tool of propaganda. They realized that instead of making this wonderful technology a tool for the people to express, the government could use this technology as a tool to control, to propagandize, to misinform, to change people's priorities, and yes, fundamentally, to change and alter the way people think, because we have to remember that that is the point of propaganda. And in the past, I would separate advertising and propaganda, but now I do not at all. Advertising and propaganda are precisely the same thing. They're designed to manipulate the way people think and the way people's minds operate. And everybody in the world, it seems, has fallen into the Nazi Bakelite trap. Because you have these stupid objects in your pocket, these little flat horrible things that get sweaty under your hands, and you accept all of the advertising. You will give them your information so they can advertise specifically at you and tell you that that is doing you a service. It is not. It is using you as a commodity, and you have to reject it. Put your phone away. Throw it in the river. Get an old, what do they call them? Get a brick phone if you to keep in touch with people. It's time to get off the social networks. I wasn't on them for years. I only went back on them when it was apparent that a huge genocide was happening, and I had to do something about it. Get off them. You're spending time on them. You are giving money to the oppressors, and the oppressors, and all your information. You're giving all your information, all your taste and your soul and your spirit to the oppressors. And these oppressors, they're not normal people. They're evil. This is evil. There is no way to say that the Holocaust of nearly 2 million people, by the looks of things,
just looking at the IPC,
500,000 already dead, at least. There is no way of saying that's not evil. So get that stupid Bakelite trash. Get your Nazi Bakelite trash and stamp on it, and then dispose of it responsibly. But it's nonsense. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Look outside. Look up. Look at the birds. We live kind of high up, and we see people walking past.
No one looks up.
No, less than 1% of people ever look up.
And if none
people
of you
look at their phones.
And the thing is,
stop looking at it.
If none of you are looking, you can't. I don't think anyone can see how bad it is.
No.
Now, when I was living in Bristol, I used to walk around and I saw, I've never seen so many dead birds just randomly everywhere.
The decapitated head of a pigeon.
Decapitated pigeons and stuff like that. Just dead birds, dead animals. That is a bad sign, and nobody seems to notice. And I'm pretty sure that the reason none of you are noticing is because you're all looking at your phones. And we need people to notice. We need people to notice and do things. And you're all just staring at entertainment, vapid entertainment, talking about status, and everyone is guilty of this on all sides of the political spectrum, unless they're actually left-wing.
Before very, 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 very recently, and again it goes back to the Bakelite and the propaganda, but the idea of, entertainment, external entertainment will be a very, very sparse thing. It wasn't... even, for the poor people, I expect a night at the music hall was a treat. It wasn't every night, because everything costs money. Not in the way it does now. I've completely lost my thread because I'll tell you why.
The idea
I
of
lost my thread.
entertainment. Of like
The idea of entertainment. That there is a scene in Andrei Tarkovsky's film Andrei Rublev where it's raining outside and the people are sat sheltering from the rain. And what are they doing while they're sheltering from the rain? They sit there, they think. Some people talk quietly, most people are just sitting. Eventually some guy gets up and starts doing cartwheels and so on and fooling around, but in general it's a long scene of people sitting, looking at each other, looking out of the window, looking at the rain, thinking about the rain. And I do believe that entertainment is actually the most vile propaganda tool because it takes away any time for thought and contemplation. And we kind of, given that the majority of this population did not stand up against what has been going on in Palestine, I don't really think that we deserve entertainment.
Oh, no.
We shouldn't be entertaining, we shouldn't be watching entertainment, we should be reflecting a little bit.
I think everybody should be in mourning right now, to be honest. That's the least that we can do.
Yes, I've been in mourning for nearly 2 years now, every day, and every day it gets worse. And I speak on a daily basis with Palestinian people.
Who are dying.
Yes, and they are the most brilliant, the most remarkable, the most pragmatic. They are like the potential of what people can be, and that is because they've been oppressed for 3 generations, and they were also oppressed by the British before that. And so poverty, difficult times, etc. makes one smart. I can tell you, probably, if you're a person listening who's never experienced like any kind of poverty, you ain't that smart,
probably,
kid.
to an extent, you're probably quite stupid.
Yeah.
I.e., for instance, example off the top of my head, when we had nowhere to live and somebody said, "Oh, well, do you enjoy it?"
Yes, do you enjoy being homeless?
Do you enjoy it?
Yes. Are you one of those? Are you one of those? Then brain up a bit.
Oh, is it nice for you? Oh, it must be very freeing.
Why don't you get rid of all your money? Take a vow of poverty, like St. Francis, and, live like a wild animal rather than the pretty little caged Jamiroquai listening bird that you are. I'm not.
Birds. They are far away from birds.
Know who I'm talking about. And if you're not like that, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, if you're not like that,
there's loads of cool
you've got no
people
reason
too.
to get offended by it because you don't do that. So the only people who are getting offended by it are people who are
do
involved.
that. Yeah.
So, maybe recognise your own behaviour and actually think about how to become a more well-rounded person who's like...
But I also know, there are cool people, but they are the minority. If they weren't the minority, then when we put on things like fundraising concerts, then everyone would be there. But, and everyone would be wearing keffiyehs, and everybody would be shouting against oppression. And they're not. But the people that I met last night at the concert for Palestine in Ashburton, the performers, the audience, every single person there was a shining, glowing example of humanity. And you know what? You can see it in the eyes, can't you?
Usually people look traumatised.
Yes.
That's how you can tell.
Yes. But you can see compassion, you can see love. Let's talk a little bit about empathy. Now, Lottie informed me recently, because when autistic people see someone fall over or whatever, like, or someone
in pain,
bang their head, or someone in pain.
People in a genocide, for instance.
Yes, autistic people it's like me personally, and I spoke to my kids about this, get sort of full body horror, sympathy pains, weird bodily pains, feeling sick, like to vomit.
It's called mirror touch synesthesia, where you feel tactile sensations on your own body when observing another person.
Yeah, and what Lottie described to me about the non-autistic concept of empathy just made me feel like even more an alien to everybody, because apparently the non-autistic, the idea of empathy is that you are supposed to see a person in pain, and then you are supposed to think, what if that was happening to me?
Yeah.
And then you feel the empathy.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, I don't think like that. I don't look at the Palestinians and think, what if that was happening to me? I think that's happening to them.
Luckily, it doesn't. I don't. Maybe,
it's not about me. It's not about you.
Maybe it's a case of people having absolutely no imagination whatsoever, that they find it difficult to see that maybe mass starvation and, you know, completely obliterating an entire stretch of land might make people feel a bit bad.
Yeah.
Do you really need it spelled out to you that it's a problem? Do we really need to spell this out? Really? What is going on?
Yeah.
Really? What is going on?
Before the...
where are the standards for anything?
Before the Palestine concert in Ashburton, threatening messages
were
received from an organisation that doesn't exist on the internet.
But it was just pathetic. So if you're listening, you are pathetic.
If you guys are listening...
Pathetic.
People who are threatening what we're doing. You are pathetic.
It's pathetic. I'm not.
Everyone can see what is happening.
I'm not
taking
any of this
No. And the thing is,
rubbish.
anyone who ever tries to sort of talk against the Palestinian people and their situation, you know, they know they are talking rubbish. Because they know it. You, if you're listening, the person who sent those threatening messages, you know you are talking rubbish.
Because it's the same... It's the same psychological capsule. When you accuse us after doing a fundraiser for getting people some flour, and you send an email accusing us of spreading hate. You know that's not true.
You know it's rubbish.
It's the same psychological capsule as saying, do not commit the sin of empathy. The only reason that you say it is because you know that it is in contradiction to the meaning of things like the categorical imperative. These concepts that we have, which are things that exist because we have a society, i.e. not going out and punching everyone in the face. The only reason that we've gotten to the point where we are is because we could have gotten on with each other in the past. Now, you know that saying feeding starving children is spreading hate is definitely untrue, don't you? Because otherwise you wouldn't be saying it with such sort of it's just not true, is it?
Yeah. And we are living right at this moment, on Monday the 21st of July, we are living in the great aberration of human history. And people say to me, well, there's been genocides before.
Oh, yeah, well, that...
A, that doesn't justify another one. But B...
What?
B... Yes, there have been genocides before. But I'll tell you what, Genghis Khan didn't have a webcam.
Yeah, none of them were being live streamed.
Everybody wasn't watching it and ignoring it. So if you have chosen to... this is not the time to sit on the fence. No. Every single person has to stand up now and scream. If you object to a Holocaust being done by the country that you live in...
That you pay taxes for. That you pay into.
Yeah. There is something wrong with you if you haven't got a problem with that, and you need to examine yourself. And I would like at this point to send a special message to all my family members, including my parents, who have stopped talking with me or accused me of having a breakdown because I decided to spend the last year and a half of my life working with people who are being genocided by the country that I'm living in. Well, it's Monday 21st of July as I record, and it's going to be Friday as this is being listened to by people. And I wonder, Mom and Dad, I wonder how many people will have died between me saying this and the broadcast. And I wonder if you would still chastise me for working with these people. And I wonder if you would still say, I should be promoting myself and making money for myself.
I mean,
rather than trying to help
just absurd,
people being starved by evil colonialist governments, Mom and Dad. So, there's no way back for us, dears. I know you like to think there is, but there is not. After
this is like basic. This is a basic standard of like is kind of not being okay with this because the thing is, if you are okay with this, then how can any of us trust you? How can any of us trust you at all if you're the kind of person who is fine with watching mass murder?
Yeah.
Mass murder.
And chastising people for having empathy about that and for wanting to help in any way possible. Mom and Dad, we have spent the last year and a half of our lives doing as much as possible that we can with our very, very, very limited state of finance to stop this happening. And now it's at the point of
look, the
no
news
going back.
Has only
and what have you got to say about that now, Mom and Dad? What have you got to say about that now?
Like the story.
You might want to think about that.
The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification website ran a story on the 25th of June last year. This is only all I can find. I can't find updated. Like the Google search has blocked any of the recent stuff about it. Like last month, it was like most of the population were in stage 4.
Stage 4, and now they're in stage 4.
And now it was about 70% were in. I can't find the statistics because they've all been.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this like a kind of live SEO hiding thing? Because why is there no news?
Why is there precisely that?
Why is it when I go and look at Gaza IPC famine, the only stories I can find are from before the 12th of May?
Yeah, there we go. Get off your phones, kids.
It's just unbelievable. It's so patronising as well. Are you kidding me?
Yep. The next thing that I want to say is directed at the young people. In the West, in England, I want to say to the young people, you suck, man. You suck.
You really suck.
You all suck. You spend all your time arguing about semantics, basically.
The last several years, all I've heard in stories is like, avocados, millennials, straight parting, centre parting versus side parting. Millennials wear skinny jeans and Gen Z wear flares. You really, seriously, no, everybody hates each other, and there's been this entire project to make it so that everyone is 5 years apart from each other, hates each other, and there's no solidarity at all. And you've all fallen for it.
We've tried to join various WhatsApp groups and things where young people are discussing action, and actually they just argue.
They say, we're not going to talk to right-wing media. So, excuse me, hated to break it to you, but all of the media is right-wing. And, they all go out with this idea that them doing a protest, the media are going to care. No, they don't care. Nobody cares. Everybody is taking this position, which is like, if we do this, then the people in power will be reasonable. They're not reasonable. They don't care about any of you. They don't care about any of us. All of us are disposable, according to these people who basically operate on a sort of end times kind of logic, which is just to sort of suck as much stuff out of the planet, as much resources as possible, and if they can't have it, no one can, and we all get to die, basically. And if you think for a second that any of the news media are going to care about you going out and holding a funny little placard that you're going to put up on Instagram, you're sorely mistaken. Most people are happy that most people in power are probably happy that what was the potential kind of fight back against any of this is completely tied up by being extremely self-absorbed and talking about what different things like flares or a centre parting mean in terms of your social signifier. You've all fallen for it, and it's just it's not liberating.
I don't care what you wear. I don't care about your subculture. I
don't care about your slang that's all been invented by social media anyway and is completely artificial because it's all being funneled to you through advertising.
And I will go so far as to say, with 500,000 Palestinian people dead and a 1.3 million Palestinian people at stage 5 starvation. I do not care whatsoever about your sexuality or your gender. I don't care.
No, there's other things to worry about.
Matter.
Like the apocalypse.
People have always been gay and bisexual and trans.
I'm bisexual.
Always.
I am also trans.
I'm also bisexual, and I do like I do like to glam myself up. But it doesn't matter that I do that. It doesn't matter that I've had sexy friendships with boys and girls. It just doesn't matter. It is of no effect. So young people, each one of you is a jewel of possibility. Each one of you can change the world.
Change the world.
Even in little ways. The small ways accumulatively will change the world. But you have to get rid of the devices.
Get off the internet. Stop putting yourself into these... stop.
We communicated before the internet.
Yeah, we did. Stop trying to put...
Action happens before the internet.
Like, trying to... put yourself in. I don't know. I can't think of an example.
And if you're communicating through the internet, it's being vetted and watched anyway.
Like, stop turning yourself into a hashtag.
Send each other postcards.
Don't turn yourself
Mobilise
into a hashtag.
that way.
Like, that's it. It's all, everyone's turning themselves into a hashtag. You know, this whole thing of like
secret things
people
in
saying like
all
different things that you wear are this particular thing. Like, there was this like hashtag dark academia thing a while ago because of, I don't know, the Netflix Wednesday Addams series. It's just pathetic. It's like little trading cards that some advertising guy has come up with you. There isn't such a thing as dark academia. There's hanging out in libraries being depressed. It's not it's like I haven't got the words to describe it, but it's like this sort of putting everything in a demographic is just destroying the kind of, like, you know, so it can be sold and hashtagged and all this other stuff. It's destroying the nuance of everything that humans do, the kind of the fuzziness around the edges, and it just, everybody hates each other as well. It's not making anyone happy, is it? Like, get off the phone and then maybe we can all actually start having a conversation.
So this is the time. This is the disaster. This is the time, young people. When we put on things like fundraiser events, there are only one or two young people there.
It's only a couple.
The rest of them are older people to whom you young people like to say, "Okay, boomer."
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me, dear young people, that the generation that you call boomers, which is the generation above me, are the only people who care. Are the only people who are coming to fundraisers.
Like, you know,
are the only people out protesting and doing vigils. I don't see a lot of you young people. I see you looking at your phones and dyeing your hair
and talking about celebrity.
It makes you a wazzock. It makes you a Bakelite idiot. Stop being a Bakelite idiot and be cool. So we live now, you, me, we live in the great aberration of history. This is not normal. This is not normal times. And I think a lot of people, their denial of it is as well as the thing of the kind of thing that people were saying at the beginning, of the idea of people sitting in their comfort and willing to look the other way
and go and eat your £20 meals
to maintain their comfort. But it's also that these people are just afraid of the norm of their life changing. But the fact is,
your life is empty anyway.
But the fact is, there is a statement, a meme that's going around the internet at the moment, which is very important, and which all listeners, I'm not directing this at poor people because I have I have sympathy and
because poor people have to live in a state of such constant trauma that it's very difficult to do anything else when you're poor. Like, no one seems to be able to get that, do they? Through their heads. So if sorry to like have interrupted, but like if you are the kind of person that has had trouble, procuring a place to live with like a toilet, then you're in this society with absolutely no compassion or camaraderie between other people.
It's 25% of this society live in poverty.
Yeah, if
the
you're
75%
that kind of person,
don't and have probably
you're
never
in trauma,
experienced it, and they have no concept.
Because you're constantly being bullied.
Are you a bourgeois? You have no concept.
You've got no idea
of what it's like to live, to be poor. My mother told my 18-year-old daughter recently that I choose to be poor. These people, they have no idea of the reality.
I think she probably means by hanging out with me
of living in this world. Yeah, of the reality
evil witch
of living in this world.
No, you have no idea. And the fact is, like, I completely derailed your point.
The point was just this meme, which states a very clear thing. Listen to this, Mom and Dad. You are closer, much closer, to the situation of the Palestinians than you are to the situation of the billionaires. You might imagine that everything is lovely and safe and secure for you.
It really isn't.
It really isn't.
It really is not.
Nothing is safe in this world now.
No, they are.
Palestine sets a precedent. If that can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
And also, they are part of a club that you're not in, but they have managed to make you think that you are, and you're really not. All these smart gadgets, all this kind of stuff. That cost money, that sort of imbues some kind of status idea. Like, none of that is. It doesn't make you rich. It doesn't. I feel obviously like this. I'm not being hippy dippy new agey, but all of this is meaningless. And the billionaires and the people in power, as we can see from their complete, they are fine with mass murder, and they are also fine with, because the two are obviously connected with the planet, because nothing is separate and it's all the same industries doing all of it, and they are fine with the destruction of everything else as well. And if you are fine to just go along with that and just treat existence with such disregard, then I mean, your life is empty anyway. Anything that gets taken away from you in terms of material possessions, what are those possessions giving you if you're happy to give up on existence? If you're happy to give up on standards, if you're happy to give up on, people not being murdered? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's just really, what is wrong with you? I mean, I can't cry about any of it anymore.
I just cried.
Well, yeah.
I had some tears. First time in fact, the last time I wept, I was weeping about a fictional fish. I was very intense in the middle of a production, and
it was about epilepsy, wasn't it? So
it was about epilepsy, but the fictional fish. And today it a little came out. And it's not just about the situation of the Palestinians. It's about what we personally have lost as well in terms of relationships with people.
But that's what I mean about it. This is all connected, and you are in it. You're not. It's not over there. We are the same planet. We're more connected than ever before. Watching people being murdered is an inherently traumatic thing to have to deal with. And the thing I don't understand is that there's all these other situations like terror attacks and other stuff like that, and everybody around the world. And obviously the one on October the 7th, and we're all told to mourn one thing but not another. And obviously, and I just, I don't agree with killing.
No,
I just don't agree with killing. That's all it is.
I'm also going to say this: We are constantly told by the government to pray for Ukraine. The government has never once said pray for Gaza,
No.
but we're told to constantly pray for Ukraine. Now, let me just point out the difference between what is going on in Ukraine. What is going on in Ukraine is a war. Now, how would one define a war?
Two sides.
A war has two armies fighting.
Two armies.
Now, doesn't it? Now, of all of the footage I've seen coming out of Palestine, and I could not tell you, innumerable hours of, and it has, to an extent, it has destroyed my soul. And I have seen so much horror. And I can't even remember what my point was.
I can't remember. It's just in front of my eyes is just a constant collage of death, and that is every. I don't have a means to
express,
because it is against reality. Doing that is against reality, and I it's against existence. Like doing that, like I just want to say something about infinity, and I just want to say something that okay, we live in a void. Well, I mean, there's loads of stuff in space, but whatever. For life is spread out. I mean,
we possibly exist within a black hole.
We might exist in a black hole, but the fact is, like, there's a lot of distance between life in space, and everybody is in this infinite, endless vacuum, space and time, and everybody gets to exist for a glint of a moment, and ultimately you don't matter, but you do, because at the same time everyone exists for a glint of a moment, and inside everybody's brain is a universe of their own filtering, of their own sort of looking at the rest of the universe, and every single thought that every person has is informed by everything that's ever happened, because you wouldn't have a language unless there were all these different components interacting with each other, and people get one shot, and to snub out life like that, any life, to do that, to take that away from anyone, is what right do you have to take that away in the void? Like, that, and if it turns out that there is like an afterlife and all this other stuff and ghosts and everything, then it makes it even worse, because then everybody who'd ever existed is watching you do it as well. I mean, just even if none of that is real, just imagine it is. It'll make you a better person. Just imagine that you're being watched by space people. Imagine that UFOs are turning, all this stuff about UFOs. Just assume that it's true, because it sets a better moral standard.
It is true.
Think about the panopticon think about the fact that there probably are many people in space who've got high-tech equipment to look at Earth from the other side of the space, and they can see what we're doing to each other. They would be able to see it. They would be able to see the heat radiating off the planet if they had really good, they've probably got radio. This whole idea that we're totally alone in space is just not true, is it? No. But there will be in space at least one civilization who is observing us and going, oh my god, what is going on there? And they'll know what it is from looking at it, by having their own industry and saying that planet has neoliberalism and there's a genocide going on there. My point being is, even if that doesn't exist, the fact that you could see it in space is a problem. Yeah. That's the standards that we're all setting in this society for if people from outside of the planet saw us. What would someone think of that? What do you think?
You would think there is the stupidest...
What do you think that is going to happen?
Species...
The fact that this is the precedent now is just unbelievable, and the kind of... the going along with it. Over the past few years, right, no one I know has contacted me. I've had a few people send me like cat videos, and I'm sorry, I'm just not going to engage with it. I'm not engaging with it, and everybody I know is aware of the fact that I do a lot of stuff talking about all of the current disasters and mass murder online, and I make work about it, and like I'm not, and none of the people I know have contacted me to say anything about that. Now, they are presumably aware that it's affected me somewhat, and has obviously is something that I think about quite a lot, and to not have anyone that I know get in touch and say, well, this is terrible, isn't it? Like, what does that say? That sounds like what I suspect is happening, which is on paper, everyone is against this, but then you're all using it as an opportunity to dredge up any of the problems that you've had with your local social groups or any of the people in your thing, and you're seizing on the ostracisation that those people, if they're against this genocide, I can't believe I said if they're against this genocide. You know, people like, you know, and I get the impression that a lot of people on the quote left, end quote, are thinking, look, this person's being ostracised and I already hate them, so maybe I'll just pile it on a little bit more. Yeah. And it's funny because it's very Stalinist, isn't it? You're all very, very Stalinist.
I remembered the other thing I was going to say, which was that over a year and a half of seeing these horrors which are indescribable. I mean, I could describe them. You know, I could describe quite colourfully, but unthinkable. But at the same time, every day I speak with many Palestinian people, and while this is happening to them, they behave with dignity, resilience, thoughtfulness, politeness, courtesy, gratitude, humour, gratitude,
for
all of the characteristics which traditionally makes up a good person. And there is something that has happened, and connecting to what Lottie was just saying about the alien overlords, that the decline of religion has basically led to a society which isn't God-fearing anymore. And I would say the fear of God is a good idea because it's there to put something in place, to displace and put a lid on human arrogance just a little bit. And
there is nothing more unattractive than human arrogance.
No. Hi, Mum and Dad. And I will say that the last year and a half has been a major change in me. And this is not just me. I have spoke to, and I can speak for you here to some extent, Lottie, but I've spoke to many people who have had the same experience, that the last couple of years has given me not a belief in God, but I would say a knowledge of God. Now, there's a statement and a half. Right?
The listeners might be scared.
Yeah. But let me describe to you what I think God is. You know about that? I think that God is reverence. I think that God is the behaviour of humility. And I think that a knowledge of God basically constitutes an acknowledgement that you are very small, insignificant, that your life is just a blip in the great cosmos.
You don't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Because the cosmos is comprised of infinite. We're all part of a bigger substance. The cosmos is comprised of infinite different events.
It is utterly amazing that you're alive.
The universe.
It is utterly amazing that you exist. It is utterly amazing that we have such astonishing things, that we have books. Each book contains a universe. Each person contains a universe. You know, you are literally made of stardust. And now, young people, you aren't thinking about this. You know that your place in the universe. This society is a facade, and really, what you are is a sentient being existing in a vast cosmological
On a spaceship.
mystery.
You're on a spaceship.
Spaceship
in
Earth,
in
man.
a big void. I mean, what even is
It
space?
is vastly exciting to be alive, and every single second you spend scrolling down your phone is a second of your valuable life wasted. You have so much potential. There is so much inside of everybody, and all of your thoughts matter. But what you have to do is you have to not argue with each other. You have to talk to each other. You have to find the common ground, and the common ground should be, the common ground universally should be that no matter what, no people, no human beings anywhere, and I would add to that, no sentient beings, no animals, nothing on this beautiful planet should be oppressed. There is no reason for it apart from greed. And if you think...
And bloodlust.
Yes, and if you think that what's been going on in Palestine has got nothing to do with the 500 gallons of gas and oil beneath the Gaza Strip, then you are even crazier than I think you are. And you ought to go and get it checked out. You could go to your local GP and get it checked out, couldn't you? So, I mean, the other thing is that we have been talking about, not just us, but like anyone with half a brain has been talking about, is where does Western humanity go from here? You know, like by Friday when this broadcast,
How many people will have died?
goodness knows how many people will have died from starvation, who are now at stage 5 starvation and cannot be saved regardless. So how many people will have died?
No, it doesn't even get a mention on the news.
No.
Are people worth that little? That little? Like really? Like all this talk about? I just cannot. But like all this talk about be kind, what are you on about? All this talk about checking on your friends with anxiety, what about the end of civilization? Like, you know, does that not?
What about checking in on people in the Gaza Strip with anxiety?
How is this kind? How is
it isn't
are we
kind.
a society? If we're allowing this.
English middle class people. All of your signs which say be kind, all of your inspirational quotes that you put in the windows of your bourgeois shops,
we are Bristol.
it is all aggressive. It is all aggressive, and it is all based around getting bits of status. And I would say more than anything, the be kind and don't be negative thing is about getting people who are complaining about things which are more than justifiable to complain about and to be angry about. The be kind thing and don't be negative thing appears to be a way of getting people with actual thoughts to shut the hell up.
It.
Well, I tell you what. If someone ever says to me, be kind, don't be negative, do you know what I'm going to do, Lottie, with that person who says, be kind, don't be negative? Shall I tell you what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them a good firm talking to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take their crystal and tell them to...
To place...
Take that off them.
To place aforementioned...
No, you don't need to. Everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, they do.
I got round it.
Yeah. Crystals, man.
Which I might add as well have all been dug out of the earth by small children in a mine, but nobody ever wants to talk about that. I'm a witch.
Yeah.
I'm so peace and love. I'm new age. I buy all of my things that have been funneled in through like sort of, you know, countries in conflict with really dodgy mining practices.
Yes, it's wonderful. All of the crystals in your house, on your mantelpiece. Yes, they are beautiful.
They are more beautiful on the earth.
But the industry, you know, these are being mined out of the earth, like Lottie said, by small children. We need the big change in this society. All of this nonsense has to stop. And it can. There's no reason for it not to stop. The only thing that is driving it is people's desire, which has been programmed into them by the system that they've been brought up in of advertising, and the idea of objects as status, and going back to Bakelite and the Nazis. People wanted the bigger Bakelite radio. They wanted to show the new Bakelite radio to their friends, and this is how they get you trapped into it. And every time I hear someone going, "Do you want to see my sexy new iPhone number 10 or whatever it is, X?" When they say that, and they have this thing, and it has become an object of status and of desire, and I would go so far as to say that the way these objects are advertised, it is a digital rosary, but I would go so far as to say often the way these things are advertised and the language used, sleek, etc., etc., it contains eroticism, I would say. I think they try to program eroticism into these rectangular pieces of plastic, which is, I mean, it's kind of fascinating on a sociological level. It is fascinating. But how are you conned by this?
But
how?
Don't you feel like, okay, so like
it's
Deleuze,
not erotic.
Like Deleuze,
Judy Garland with her legs out singing Mr. Monotony.
How do you say his
That's
name?
erotic.
Is it Guattari or?
Yeah, Guitar, I think.
Well,
you would know better than me.
Deleuze and his mate Guattari, they sort of postulate that the only way that you end up with societies forming is because everyone wants to go through this like weird Oedipal kind of. So that's a good prerequisite. It's just that tends to end up being the social function that everybody falls into. But do you not kind of feel like a baby when you're getting your little kind of libido phone thing advertised at you, and some woman's on the advert going, oh yeah, look at this. Ooh. Do you not feel a bit, sort of stupid?
Well, when
like, I don't know.
When you are frittering away your life playing video games, going like click click clickety click 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 clickety click click, we're gonna kill some terrorists, clickety click click. Don't you feel like when you're frittering away your life doing that, don't you feel that you're frittering away your life doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, like, your life is so short.
Like, I don't know.
Life is such a little blip.
Go outside for a little bit, and I don't know. I feel like maybe the reason,
don't waste time.
People are not valuing other people's lives. They're not valuing their own lives. The whole thing seems to be a project of nobody valuing anything.
It's very hard to live in this.
Just sort of wake up a bit.
Yes.
I don't mean it like whatever woke is now. I think the term's redundant now, personally, and it's just a hashtag. But that's like try and be like just have some standards, like that would sort of make the planet like work. Like don't kill loads of people and set fire to everything.
Only hashtag I like is the one that's on the label on the outside of a little baggie. Yeah, hashtags, man, hashtags.
Oh, hash browns.
Hash brown. Hashtag.
Except, I can't buy hash browns because the only ones that any of the shops sell are McCain, and they, I think, support like
Israel.
this military thing.
And,
like, I don't. Just.
I saw it stated quite well today that, and I think literally as the financial situation is that every bottle of Coca-Cola that you buy equals one bullet.
Really?
Yeah. So every time you buy a bottle of Coca-Cola, you're making a bullet, which is going to kill people. It's not easy it's not difficult
Yeah, it's amazing
to stop buying this stuff. Just don't buy it.
It's amazing that Coca-Cola was actually more ethical when they put cocaine in it, really, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
at the time, the war on drugs hadn't been such a complete and total destabilising disaster that has also contributed to all of this, hasn't it?
I mean, I hate cocaine, but if it was like
But well, again,
if it was mass manufactured and put in a spritzy energy drink, then maybe.
But it was also again the thing of like it wasn't a problem before they started doing the war on drugs, and then they started doing the war on drugs, and then it creates the problem.
Can I just add here my historical knowledge of the war on drugs and how it relates to Orson Welles? Did you know that? Did you know that, listeners? The war on drugs is directly related to Orson Welles, and specifically the film Citizen Kane, which is not Orson Welles' best movie, so do some investigating. But Citizen Kane, when Welles made it, was a satire on a guy called William Randolph Hearst, who was basically the Rupert Murdoch of his time, and it was Hearst who was kind of responsible for destroying Welles's reputation in America, and it was also Hearst who is responsible not just for the war on drugs, but also in large part for the climate catastrophe, because in the 1930s there was a very pragmatic movement to suggest that the plant called hemp would actually, because it grows very, very quickly, is very, very cheap to produce,
would bring down carbon emissions a lot.
Yep. They suggested, a large movement said, this is what we do. We're not going to use trees. We're going to now start to make everything with hemp. This was in the 1930s. William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper magnate, had lots of deals with logging companies with whom they chopped down trees and he printed his newspapers. Simply, William Randolph Hearst wanted to keep his contracts up with the logging companies. And so William Randolph Hearst made the production of this plant illegal. And that, my friends, is why marijuana is against the law. Not because it's bad for you, but because a newspaper guy wanted to chop down trees. And we could do this now. We could replace all the paper manufacture with hemp.
Bamboo.
And bamboo,
well, and bamboo,
which also grows super quick.
There's a lot of companies, like toilet roll companies.
But the world lives literally
bamboo
under the shadow of William Randolph Hearst's
and
decision.
it's always one person who does this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Again, like, I had this thought, and another friend of mine was saying it as well, separately. But, obviously it's in the air then, but like the fact that the follow your dreams, be kind bit, the only people who are going to follow their dreams are dictators.
Yeah.
Everyone else, also this concept of free will. No one's got free will anymore, have they? Apart from like 10 people who are responsible for all of us.
Yeah. We have free will to be like ineffective and unable to do anything.
Yeah.
And what we live under is not a democracy because choosing between one of two parties who both have the same political interests.
Who aren't even allowed to vote, the MPs aren't even allowed to vote how they want anyway, are they?
No.
They all get whipped into making a decision. And there's all this bureaucracy and stuff, which means that people, even if they have got a motion through or something, they're not even necessarily going to be able to talk about it. And then when people are actually trying to pass motions that are really important in the Commons, nobody's there. Yeah. And so it's just completely defunct. It's totally defunct.
English democracy is not democracy. The only leading political figure who's done anything about the Middle East and who has said anything is the king.
Yeah.
The king, But the king has no power.
So yeah, again, what's the point of
neither,
that? It's just all really weird bureaucratic systems that mean no one's allowed to do anything.
Yeah, we speak now on Monday. This will broadcast on Friday. As we speak on Monday, the Pope is talking about going to Gaza to try to break the siege.
Yeah, people are calling on him to go because the church that they bombed the other day, Pope Francis called it.
Yes, in case you didn't know, they bombed a 3rd century Christian church.
Was it the 3rd century one? That was.
I think so.
They bombed a 3rd century one last year, and I mean, apparently that was fine. But like this time, they bombed the Catholic Church the other day, and the Pope Francis used to phone them every day. They hurt his mate, one of the priests there. And stuff, and then Netanyahu, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to do it. Like, I mean, like, really?
The fact is, the Middle East is the great bowl where the knowledge in the world was stirred up and disseminated. Astronomy, mathematics, poetry, art, sciences. When folk in Europe were wallowing around in the mud, in the Middle East they were making optical tools for looking at the skies and writing things like the Rubaiyat.
Yeah, also you've got like the Middle East to thank for all of your minor key music. If it wasn't for like sort of modes that are practiced there, you'd be listening to almost exclusively I don't know, except I quite like but you'd be listening
I love it, but if it was only that,
you'd just be listening to stuff with like major thirds, which would get a bit
a little bit tedious. How much do you like major thirds?
I mean, I like major thirds a lot, but it's like, a lot of as if we're even talking about like the thing of like you should preserve culture. Like, I mean,
but to me, it's a deliberate. They're trying to rewrite history. For what other reason would they, in about 2003, have bombed and destroyed entirely the oldest library on the planet? Why? If not to attempt to rewrite history and to try and make a situation where the story that is told is that everything brilliant that was ever done was accomplished by white people, which is of course nonsense, but it looks very much... Well, I spoke to a lovely Jewish lady recently who went to a Zionist school, and she told me that they were taught in school that the land, which they now call Israel, which has always been Palestine, that nobody ever lived there. All those years until 1948, it was empty. No one ever lived there.
Yeah, there's a whole...
And she grew up believing this, and obviously was very surprised to find out that obviously that is not the case at all, and she'd been utterly propagandized. And this woman is maybe she must be aged in her 60s, and she is out protesting and at the vigil and standing up for people, for humanity.
Why should people have to deal with this?
Yes, this is about standing up for humanity against commerce, against the big body without organs, which is this big, writhing, disgusting commerce, consumerism, capitalist, vile, oozing, turd-covered, blood-covered, Miyazakian nightmare.
I also just feel like the whole sort of like destruction of Iraq, the whole destruction of like Gaza and all the antiquity, everything in Syria, just like the whole Middle East, like, it's a trope to bomb Yemen, isn't it? When everything's going wrong, let's bomb Yemen. It's just
there's a lot of talk about the child soldiers in Yemen.
Well,
we're meant to dislike Yemen because they have child soldiers.
All the
These child soldiers' children have been... their parents have been murdered by America.
If you don't want people to do this stuff, don't murder their entire family. But it just sort of... the destruction of all the antiquity there, and everywhere around the rest of around the West as well. The main predominant thing is just gentrify everything, destroy all the spaces that have been made by poor people, get rid of public space, destroy all the buildings,
make everything look
homeless,
like Wapping
make
Wharf
everything
in
look
Bristol.
like Wapping Wharf in Bristol. This weird kind of slightly sinister sort of shipping container thing that I keep seeing everywhere.
Full of businesses that nobody would ever use.
You know the thing I mean. This kind of completely vapid. They look kind of slightly industrial, but they're, I don't know, this weird building trend that we got, and everything looking the same. I just kind of feel like it's sort of this wider project to destroy anything that's pre-neoliberal.
We can create such
everything
beauty.
old is seen as redundant and needs to be replaced, and it's too much. It's just a disaster. And it could be so beautiful as well. All of this is a choice. We can stop doing these things. We can have a nice society.
To do that, everyone has to start thinking. Has to
think about your behaviour.
Get off your Nazi Bakelite radio and think.
Think about your impact. We've been doing this show for ages now, and I haven't even talked about animals because, if you start even mentioning that maybe something other than humans has got a will, then people go completely insane. And so, I can't even mention it because if I say that, people are, oh wow, you're this, blah blah blah. What? I spend every day with animals, and they are the same as humans, except I'll say probably more intelligent, and better motivations. And I spend every day, and every one of them has an extremely complex, rich personality, just like a human. In fact, I would say more rich than most of the humans that I've met recently. I get more consideration from animals than I do from most humans around. And all of these animals are being stabbed in the throat and put into bags, and it's just again, I'm struggling to carry on with this because oh God, that's generally the response. But really, do you think you're going to be able to have a planet where it's remotely pleasant to be on if somewhere on the planet there is a thing where millions of animals are being murdered for food every minute? Do you really think that we're going to be able to have peace or anything remotely resembling a non-violent society if there's just this sort of chasm of death going on? And I'm not going to use the word vegan. I'm not going to use it because I
hate that word.
I'm against killing. Is what it is. I don't understand why you have to have suffering. I don't see why suffering has to be in any of it any time at all. And there's an entire industry has cropped up to try and prove that animals don't think or have the capacity to feel pain. Really? What is the likelihood that on this planet of however million species, billions and whatever, I don't even know how to quantify it, however many species there are on this planet, do you really think that humans are the only one that will be able to think?
Do you know that what's
the likelihood of that?
When they take cows along the conveyor belt to kill them, the first thing that they do is they stun the cow. Right,
and then it goes into an epileptic seizure state.
But they stun
it's called epileptic coma.
Well, they stun the cow, which is meant to make it insensible to pain, etc., etc. But most of the time, it doesn't work, right? And then the next thing that they do to the cows, the next thing that happens to the cow when it's just been stunned, not dead, just stunned, is the skin is ripped off its head. That is the next thing that happens, and that happens millions of times every day. And I don't accept the Holocaust of the Palestinians, nor do I accept the daily genocide of millions and millions and millions of sentient beings. It is literally unthinkable.
If you killed humans at the same rate as it, the
none of us
entire
left.
human species would be gone within 2 weeks, apparently. Or so it's something like that, or maybe even less.
Speaking of the not eating, if you want some racial generalization, my dear mother was once chastising me for not eating any animal products, for not eating dairy products and so on. And she said to me, you need to take your vitamins because you'll be depleted. And then I said, well, what about entire populations that don't consume this stuff? What about the Hindus, for example? And my mother replied, the Hindus are depleted. Ba-ba-ba. Okay, let's go to some music. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. American demagoguery and British demagoguery. We've been all screwed over by American demagoguery. American demagoguery and British demagoguery. We've all been screwed by American demagoguery. Goggery, demagoguery, giggery, jiggery, poggery, goggery, demery, goggery, demery, goggery, moory, goggery, demery, goggery, demery, goggery, American demagoguery. Do. And that's the thing, kids. As well as this crazed society doing what it's done to the Palestinians, you have to realize that they're screwing you over too. They are damaging you by making you just turn away from this, or by even, to some degree, making people unaware of this. They have done you a disservice. They have damaged you. They have hurt you. They have injured you. And if you are the sort of person who thinks what has been going on is in any way tolerable, then either you have been manipulated and brainwashed by a psychopath, or you are a psychopath, my friend. There's no two ways about it. If you in any way, for any reason, would condone the starvation and murder of just one child, that would make you an unthinkable psychopath. Because prior to a year and a half ago, starving and murdering a child was considered the worst thing and the most abhorrent thing that a human being could do. And now, I see it every day. And it has been normalized by this system. And like many people are saying, if they do this to Palestine, who's next? Who's next? Which population which disagrees with the prevalent system? And the Palestinians didn't even disagree with the prevalent system, they just had their land stolen. But let's say a population that disagrees with the prevalent system. Well, I used to live in Bretagne, la France, and the Bretons are brilliant. The Bretons are such a brilliant population. A lot of them are so Breton that they will not speak French, and they do not speak French, they only speak Breton. I sat around tables where some people spoke English, some people spoke French, some people spoke Breton, and some of those people had no one shared language between them, and it made very, very interesting conversations. And the people there who are poor in rural Brittany, they are still living, I guess, what you would call the peasant life, in the way that many, 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 many people always have. And the Breton people, much like the Cornish here, really celebrate their independence and their difference from the rest of the country. And anybody who's been to Brittany or to Cornwall knows that these two are kind of weirdly, well, not really similar because they used to be connected geographically, geologically. But they are places which relish and celebrate, rightly so, their difference from the rest of the population. And there has been talks of like an independent Brittany and an independent Cornwall. And in some ways, it makes sense because those places, culturally, the way that Cornwall still has its own language, much like Brittany.
And its own music, of course, with all hail Gabba and IDM.
Yep. And because of that, the people in these places are quite... they will say no if something is proposed, historically. So, I was told that maybe in the 1980s or the 1990s, the people of Brittany came together, and the French government had built a giant bridge to make Brittany more accessible and more connected to the rest of France. The Bretons blew it up.
Really?
The Bretons blew up the bridge.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, the Bretons blew up the bridge, and it was never built.
Huh?
It was never built.
Wow.
And they maintained that separateness. So, because of that, should the French government kill everybody in Brittany?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, you know, the
Because they
Isle of Wight.
disagree? Yeah. I mean, we've been in the Isle of Wight. You're from the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
I've spent quite a lot of time in the Isle of Wight. I know quite a lot of people on the Isle of Wight, who think like me.
Well,
who
the Isle
think
of
that
Wight-
it's bad to kill
the
people.
Isle of Wight was the last place to give up paganism or whatever, or convert to Christianity, rather. Like it was sort of be forced to convert to Christianity, rather. So if that was still the situation now, and we were slightly different, is the answer, just like destroy it all,
Flatten
the whole thing, kill all the animals, whatever, just
make it so
destroy
the whole of the island
it's
is rubble.
completely unlivable.
Yeah. And is that what we do now?
Is that really...
Is that the norm now? And are we going to have to see people being starved to death again?
And again,
Is this going to be every year?
And then
Is this going to be forever?
And then what is-
Can you live in that world?
What is the long-term plan in regard to this? This thing that nobody sees. Climate change. What is the long-term plan with that?
Yeah,
really?
it's been a bit hot,
when
hasn't
people
it?
start being displaced because of that, so what is the plan? Is this just it? Are we going to just really go into a situation where the answer is just, let's just let a famine happen and kill everyone?
There's part of me.
Why do you want to live like that? Why do we want to live like that? I don't message for governments and everyone who's arresting people for saying that you shouldn't do this. Do you seriously want to live in the world? I mean, I can't do anything to change your minds, and I don't want to be in your society anyway. But I just don't understand what motivates you as a living, breathing
Status
being.
is what motivates them.
But is status really more important than air?
Status is a fiction. Every bit of status is a fiction to do with the social construction that you're creating at that point.
Well, it's just
and it gives you that little feeling where you can raise your nose a little bit higher.
What's the point?
Doesn't do anything.
What is the point?
Does
really?
nothing.
What's the point?
Go and read a book.
I just don't understand. 90% of you, all of you humans, I do not get it. The last time I was involving myself in groups of people, everybody just used to mock me all the time for having an opinion on how maybe sort of chasing kind of consumer stuff and wrapping everything in plastic is maybe not such a great idea.
Yeah.
And everyone, kooky Lottie, manic pixie, they think that capitalism might need a bit of regulation.
They think that
Why are you laughing at this? It's not
capitalism. They think that capitalism, or more precisely, is what they think that capitalism, or more precisely consumerism, might be something which has managed to destroy... Think about this. Think about it. To destroy, in 100 years, an entire planet.
I mean, we've just lost
Think about
so
that.
much. Like, why
destroying a planet.
How have you managed to do that? Why is anyone joking about this?
An astral body.
Yeah, how is human arrogance
You are destroying
so
an
enormous?
astral body.
You are, I mean, like, you know, using words like using words to describe ourselves like sort of vegan, anti-fascist, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous.
I've got blue hair.
It's redundant. Like, do you not care about existence? Like,
got baby grow.
Like, I'm not talking about being a hashtagable.
I've got my subculture.
Like, hashtag, yeah, subcultures. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, wanting to, like, sort of exist.
Yeah.
That's not a demographic, like, or it shouldn't be. What is wrong with you all? Why are you all continuing to participate in stuff that's going to kill all of us?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
And further to that
Just what are you
participation...
doing? Just stop doing it. Like, look at your life. If you're not doing anything to hurt anything, then great. But like, you know, if you're doing anything that like brings just this like horror onto all of us, why are you doing that? Please, just think about it.
Yeah. And further to that, as you may have heard, the CEO of Spotify is now also the CEO of a massive AI military company.
Yeah, and like
which
Facebook
means
and Meta are also running crowdfunding adverts for like to buy sort of like military equipment to bomb Gaza with. It's just sort of like.
But Spotify being now literally the military means that when you put your music on there, when you listen to music on there, you are literally funding the military by listening to art. Or neoliberal music.
And they've taken all of the musicians, like, because, you know, a lot of my favourite musicians.
It's time to get a record player and buy some second-hand records and listen to the music of history.
On Spotify, like, you know, Kate Bush is on Spotify. Is she? I don't know, actually, I can't remember. Like, A$AP Rock, I think, might be on Spotify. But, you know, everybody kind of went onto it. Like, I'm just using that as an example. It's not criticism at all. Like, he has to be. Everyone has to be. Like, all these people have to put. You know, we're told now, like, it's not counted as released unless it's on Spotify. Who else do I really like that's on Spotify, eh?
Lots of
like Lamb Talk, Mannequin.
Lots of music on Spotify.
Mannequin P, you have to say. There's loads of jazz music that I like on it. There's loads of. There's also obviously all the stuff that I don't like on it. But I'm just listing these things to try and point
Mannequin
out.
Urine sounds much worse than Mannequin Cat.
I'm just trying to point out that I'm not criticising any musicians for having to use it, but it's just what I'm trying to say.
But we have to find something.
What I'm trying to say is it's
way.
awful that this company is taking all of the creativity of these people who I love, like these musicians that I have so much admiration for as people, like, and taking that, like, you know, take all the hip hop that's on Spotify, for instance, all that, like the Beastie Boys, all that amazing spark of genius, and it's all they're making money off it. No one's making money off of streaming, and it's all funding murder. Like, and you know, they need to get their whole environmental stuff sorted as well. Like all of this sort of stuff. We shouldn't be being abused like this as musicians. We need to find. There's got to be an alternative. Just go back to tapes. Like, you know, get a Walkman.
Sharing tapes, sharing CDRs.
Well, you can make them out of recycled plastic.
Let's get more lathe cutting companies on the go,
like,
so people can make records outside of the music industry.
It was better.
I do not think that artists should be operating within industries.
No.
That's not the place for artists. The place for artists is outside everything.
I can't handle seeing this thing at the moment, which is like this kind of thing of like, since men started talking about, oh look, women can play guitar, you know, that happened over the last couple of years. I can't handle seeing like things like this kind of conversation about like feminism and stuff that's being channeled through these companies that are all along the line somewhere involved in
murdering lots of women.
It's like none of us should be having to put up with that. Like, so if you're a musician now, if you want to enter any of like the songwriting awards or anything like that, the music is not counted as released until it's on Spotify.
No.
I mean, so what? You got no other option? I don't want to do that.
No.
Also, I can't afford it anyway. I can't afford to.
It's got pricey.
It's pricey. You've got to pay every month.
Yeah.
So both parties, the listener and the musician, have to pay a subscription.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Just pay the artist directly.
We have to build a new culture which is separate to the military culture. Because it's all
pay to have it hosted.
Should be paying the stupid Marvel films which you go and see are funded by the military to
literally by
to push
DOD,
the idea of the great American superhero.
I don't know. There's a list of
Have they got Captain England yet? Like some skinny guy? It would be a fat bloke in Union Jack underpants, wouldn't it? In a string vest flying around.
Stan Lee, I think, did try to do that ages ago. Maybe I can't remember, but I think there was talk of it. Like Captain. Oh dear.
I'd like to see Captain Luxembourg. Captain Luxembourg would be brilliant. He would have electric car charging ports all over him, and he would be full of cheap petrol. Captain Luxembourg.
Everything takes him about sort of 20 minutes because it only takes 20 minutes to get across.
Exactly. Every task takes 20 minutes,
yeah,
so he can save. Captain Luxembourg can literally save the world in 20 minutes.
But no more, no less.
What about Captain Belgium? What does he do?
He's has lots of internal kind of conflict in terms of bureaucracy and administration.
Yeah, his language is confused.
Yeah.
His internal monologue is Flemish, but he speaks French.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
That's he's good at sort of navigating lots of different linguistic things at the same time.
And Captain Palestine defeats the oppressor. Is what Captain Palestine does. Yes. I've been thinking about this idea of prayer as well. There was that prayer experiment. I can't remember the details, but they did some scientific thing to see if prayer made any difference, and it didn't. Completely stupid pseudoscience, but I don't think that's the point of prayer and contemplation. No. It is also, you take time, you give your time to thinking about others and thinking about the situations of others and thinking about your position in the great unknown in which we live. To every person who is listening, who finds 1 second of their life boring, I just don't understand how one can be bored, right? We have this Budlier out the back. We're very lucky to live in a lovely place. We haven't for a long time. We're very lucky now to live in a lovely place here in Shipton Abbot.
I'm very lucky to look at
that little
the lovely steamboss.
And there is this astonishing Budlier out the back, in the back garden. Yes, we're lucky enough to have a garden. And really nice landlords, which is amazing. But there is this Budlier out the back. And I see this Budlier as God. And when I look at the Budlier, the colour is God, but also the shape is God. And when you look at the Budlier, you look close at the Budlier. And I think back to our film about the German poet Annette von Droste-Hossoff, who was severely myopic. Yeah, and so she had to look very closely at things, and so she developed this very close relationship with the little things in nature. And I'm not talking about the cute, twee little things in nature. What I'm talking about is that when I look at that Budlier, there's obviously the trunk of the tree, but there are also the leaves and there are also the flowers. And every single leaf on that Budlier is a iteration and expression of the idea and the concept of that leaf, and every single one grows differently, and the shape of that leaf, the precise shape of that leaf, will never exist again. And then you look at the flowers, which some of them are bright pink and some of them have gone to a real dark purple. And
it's like vibrant. You can kind of.
It sings.
Like you're eating it.
It sings.
Crazy.
It sings. It's God.
It's blinding.
Yeah, it is. But when you look at the flowers, and then you realise that not only is every one of those bundles of flowers an iteration of the idea of the buddleia flower, every single line in that flower is unique. Every single line that exists is a unique iteration of an idea which has been formed by millions of years of evolution.
And then how is that not a will as well?
Yeah.
You know, that's a will.
Yeah. And I would say that, like, knowledge of God is not a matter of the denial of science. It's a total acceptance of science. And total acceptance, because science is just us finding out what's going on. You know, that's all it is.
And what's going on is totally mad. Like, it's
completely mad.
Balmy. Like,
And the knowledge...
It's just wiggly land.
Yeah. And the knowledge of God that I have found in the last year and a half is that God is everything apart from commercially manufactured, mass-produced products, which are not.
Yeah.
And is it possible that the Antichrist is the commercially manufactured, mass-produced product?
I think so, and I think this concept of the Antichrist is not like a person, is it? It's being against what somebody like Jesus would have said, which is like everything that you've just been saying.
Yeah.
And
be tolerant.
But just also like wake up, look at it. It's amazing. Like,
it's astonishing.
It is astonishing. Like all of it, and I feel like nobody is paying attention, and that's why you're all so happy to lose it.
Yeah, I can't
happy to
be
disregard it, and if you're observing, sorry, I keep interrupting, but if you're observing it, then you can't, like, properly observing it, then you can't be full of hate.
No.
And I'm just getting a bit upset with like the thing of being around people who are supposed to be on side with you, like in, I don't know, whatever. The immediate social groups, family, friends, that sort of thing, co-workers. And if anybody at this point in history is carrying out petty social nonsense that's based on some imagined hostility that they've got in their social group, now really is not the time. Like, in order for... We need to be better to each other, like in each other's lives as well. It's an emergency. We're at the end of civilization. But, like, it's the apocalypse, we're a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Just like, how can you have the energy to be full of hate? Like, if you care about, if you actually observe reality, then I don't know how you could say that you hate everything.
No.
I mean, I hate, obviously, the destruction of it, but that comes from love.
Yeah. But hating destruction is not a hate.
That's not hate. That's grief.
Yeah, grief
is what it is.
And I live now in a state of grief, of perpetual grief. My daily life is grief because of things in personal life, but because of the things in my personal life are caused by what's happened and our interaction with the people who are currently being starved to death. And we should all be living in grief right now. We should mourn. We need to mourn. And we have to find a way out of this as a culture, as a species. We have to find a way back to light, basically. We have to find a way back away from commerce. You know, the way back to light is very simple. You just got to look at stuff. You just got to pay attention. There is and have respect, yes. There is so much that is fascinating and beautiful. People who live in Devon, you know, you're so lucky to have these old walls. Every old wall is fascinating to me.
Everyone is a haven for, like, an entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
animals and stuff. Of course, like what's been done like animals is like fill up the wall with expanding foam and then complain whether that animal is on the wall even though it's outside and not in the houses. But
yeah, got to start liking animals, man. We need them much more than they need us.
oh yeah,
They don't need us at all. We're a hindrance. Think about it. You're part of this species which, you know, given that every other species on the planet will have the knowledge of what we do to our animal friends
what humans are doing, sorry.
and what humans do to
And
humans.
to each other, yeah.
The rest of the species on this planet must look at us with utter disdain.
You know, we have
And don't you feel ashamed to be part of
we
that?
literally
I feel
torture
ashamed.
animals for entertainment
Yeah.
with like spears or with eating them alive.
Yeah.
Or like
We sit there chewing the flesh of a tortured baby, going and putting little bits of it in our mouths, go.
and then you write reviews.
This is cannibalistic behaviour. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I've had it. I'm not apologising for. How can you do anything but speak completely directly in this society now when what's happening has happened?
To chase them through like the countryside and rip them apart. It's just I just don't know why the sort of like seeing blood seems to be at the epicenter of the majority of this society.
Why does humanity think?
Why is that fun? Like, why do you?
But why does humanity think that it's ascended beyond barbarism in any way? When clearly the human barbarism has never been.
It's worse than.
And not even just, you know, like the barbarity to humans, but the barbarism of 3 million animals killed to be consumed by fat bourgeois guts is just, it is unthinkable.
Per minute, I think it's
what we live in.
Land animals per minute. Like, you know, the amount.
It is unthinkable to me. Stop doing it. It's disgusting.
So large
it's disgusting.
You cannot quantify it. You know, you literally.
It's vile.
You can't count.
Eat beans.
You know, you're all
disgusting.
Everybody just wants to try and say that as few things on the planet, including amongst humans, are worthy of personhood as possible. Like, we only assign personhood in like people being allowed to. Like the only people who are seen as important are a very small facet of the population, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I just. The entire thing is about inflicting, being able to just torture everything.
Yeah. We live now. We have turned this. We have turned this astral body into a torture planet, and it can stop. And it will stop, but every single person has to do their bit to accelerate the stopping of the situation of this astonishing astral body that we live on as being a death and torture planet. How can you live with contentment in such hideousness?
I mean, every day we watch the slaughterhouse van drive past here, and I notice that a lot of the time they do it at like 4 a.m. and it's always empty. So I think basically they take it to the abattoir that's up in Dartmoor, and they probably go through more of the countryside route to get up there, and then they drive back through the town when people can't hear the animals screaming. I did hear the animals screaming once when I went through the town, but it's always empty when it drives through here.
Yeah.
And like, that's all the time.
Oh, I think it's probably full when it passes at night.
I know, I've heard it at night and it's empty. I think they probably don't go through the town.
Oh, this is the get back route.
It just, like, that is being funneled through every single day, and you're acting as if it's not having any, like, it doesn't exist. And now the thing is, the New Age secret thing, you know, law of attraction and that, had this whole thing about how water is sentient. And at the moment, people give more thought to the sentience of water than to an animal. And also, you give more thought to plastic than you do to an animal. Like, everybody's in uproar about plastic, but you don't think about the fact that these are like... I mean, the fact that I've got to point it out is just...
I don't want any plastic wrapped around this limb that I've bought.
The fact that I've got to point it out is just unbelievable. And like, this is all connected. The Industrial Agriculture Act, which allowed all this stuff, was signed in Britain in like 47 or 43. Before that, we didn't have the huge industrial machine that was processing dead bodies, and it's all new. And like, whatever your feelings on it, like whether or not you eat it or whatever, you cannot deny that this is just insane. It's unsustainable. And whatever, call me like, no, I'm not. I'm against death.
Well, wasn't there this recently
just
published
against
statistic
death
that the meat industry is responsible
for more emissions than the aviation and the transport industry? It's it's literally causing the death of everything.
Yeah, you could have a future where you can have your little car, where you can drive about.
You can go on holiday.
You can go spoot. You can beep the little horn, and you can drive your little wheel with your little driving gloves on. You can do all that. You can even go on your holidays, but
you can.
Just don't eat dead animals, and then if the thing of like daily slaughtering, I couldn't even estimate how many million per day. If it's 3 million a minute, my maths is not that good.
You can't quantify. You can't even. If you want to have a world where humans aren't getting killed, you're gonna have to get rid of the mass death of everything else. You can't have a universe where you've got total human rights if there's also another massive killing project going on on another species. Like, we live on the same planet. What is the likelihood of humans being the only species that is capable of, like, thinking?
Yes. The Western consumerist system has...
on an entire planet.
Killed 70% of life on this astral body, which they did not have the right to do. This system, which we continue to support, has massacred almost 70%, is almost everything. If you had 70% of your body taken away, there'd just be your head left. So there's just a head left of the ecosystem now. And that's fine. No,
and you
it's
can't
not.
see it because you've all insulated yourselves in like little plastic containers or whatever.
It's possible to make the world better, but we need more people to get out of their little plastic containers and actually do something. And that doesn't mean riot and revolution.
No,
it means just
the thing that hurts it.
Just do practical, pragmatic
don't do
things.
The thing that hurts it.
And do things also. Don't do the stuff that hurts the planet. Don't buy the products that kill people. And simply don't go around being passive aggressive.
Just
drop it. Drop it.
Please try and get on
Be
with
civil.
each other.
Be courteous.
Stop using fetishized terms like to describe yourself. Stop fetishizing everything. Like, try not to kill everything. That's the end.
Yeah. We are little, but we can do big things. And the continued death of this planet and everything on it is not an inevitability, but it is a prerequisite of true development and change and growth, as Keir Starmer would put it. And I'm not talking about economic growth, because I do not care about that, because it is a myth.
The religion,
it is a myth.
The economy.
It is a myth. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. I'm talking about the growth of the human species into our potential. It is possible. But you have to get your head either out of the sand or your bottom, depending on where you put it, and do something. And, I am absolutely not saying go out and riot. In fact, I don't even feel at this particular point in society, I don't feel that protest is even effective.
There's everything is too split apart
and prescribed,
kind of intangibly set up. There's no. I mean, where would you go and protest?
Yeah.
Like, the best thing you can do is just not fund it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying.
So it's easy. Just don't do anything.
What I'm saying, is not a call to revolution. Just make your life simpler.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't buy as much. And, it does feel good to make other people feel happy.
Yeah.
I mean...
You feel connected to the rest of the world.
Yeah. To make...
You don't feel isolated.
Just in Palestine, the small amount of money we've been able to give to people, I will not deny that it does feel good inside me when they say, thank you so much, I can feed my kids tonight.
Yeah.
That feels good. And if you just do small things to make people feel good, hold the door, tell the really well-dressed old lady that she looks fantastic. Compliment people.
Authentically.
Yeah.
Not in this like, you want your socks.
No.
Like, which not people's socks.
It's really, really, really uncool, particularly now, to be detached from reality.
Yeah, really.
And every moment spent with a device connected to the internet is a further pull away from tangible reality. And people talk about us living in the post-truth age now, and we don't. The post-truth age is a lie. We don't live in the post-truth age. There can't be post-truth, because truth is not something you can pick and choose, baby. Truth is the nature of reality. And, doctored images on a screen or whatever, everybody seems to think that AI and that we can have doctored images is going to wreck our reality. But we've been able to doctor images since the beginning of photography, and let's be honest, AI, it's terrible, it's rubbish, it's all rubbish. It was quite fun at the beginning when it didn't work properly. It's just boring now. It's boring. It's not, and the thing of AI, it's wrecking the academic system because no one's actually doing work and everybody's just doing it with AI. Well, what it means is that the people who are brilliant and the people who do write will start to stick out again. And what will begin to be prized again in our cultural landscape will be uniqueness, of voice, of style. And do you know where that uniqueness comes from? It comes from whatever you would say it tangibly is. It comes from the human spirit. It comes from the individual mind and brain and experience of each individual person. And each individual person, if they are supported, encouraged, loved, has the capacity to do great and unimaginable things. And I would define a great thing as simply being somebody who, somebody who dedicates their lives to making homeless people's lives a bit easier, or whatever, or writing a great book, or saving lives, or being a fireman, or...
Oh, I love firemen.
Yeah.
Oh, firemen.
And you can be amazing. You can change the world yourself. Every little bit from each individual will make this culture better, But to do so, we have to do it without going through militaristic systems. Because, my friends, the military sucks. And you don't want to be a part of it. It's the end of the show. This has been Dr. Ergo Phizmiz. This has been Sound Art Radio, the greatest radio station in the world. I don't know if you will have enjoyed listening, but yeah, bye.